And so it is Christmas. And what have we done? Fuck all because of COVID.
Thanks a lot, COVID. Thanks a lot, COVID. It's all your fault, COVID.
Fucking COVID.
Dark Satellite Media.
I'm Waymer.
I'm Lewis.
I'm Steve.
And it's about that time.
You're listening to the Everyone But Us podcast, straight from the heart of London.
Yo, what's up everyone? And we're back and welcome for the end of year special, the Everyone But Us podcast. Make some noise!
Yep.
Yeah, my name's Waymer. I have my two brothers, Tango and Cash. No, actually, Lethal Weapon. Black and white. Lethal Weapon.
Myrtle and Riggs.
Riggs.
Yeah.
Diplomatic immunity.
I've got diplomatic immunity. No pyrotechnics in here. Shout out to all our South African people if we got any listening.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Yeah.
So what's up? We're back for another episode, end of year special. How are you guys doing?
I'm alright. I'm off work until the new year now. And it is now the 20th of December. So I don't go back until the new year. So I'm all good. And I'm sitting at my house with these two people.
Thanks, mate.
Having a catch up. And it's alright. Life's good.
Good to hear that.
So
mate.
basically, you've done fuck all.
I have done fuck all.
Yeah.
As for me, I've got a few more days of work to go.
Nice.
I finished on the 23rd, so I'm taking Christmas Eve off, and then I'll be back in on the 27th. But just been working, finishing up with that. Went out this weekend recently for John's birthday. I know it's the whole Omicron and all that shit, but I've been triple boosted with my fucking communist fucking juice, so I was good to go to hang out with a few friends at a tap house in Hackney Wick.
Oh,
so
nice.
it was nice evening. So happy birthday to John. If he's he probably will listen to this.
Mr. John Carter, check out his podcast,
The Carter Chronicles.
Carter Chronicles. Big up to John.
By the way, you have gone full fucking hipster there, haven't you? Tap House Bar in Hackney Wick.
No, it was a tap house, not a tap house bar.
Oh, I thought you said Tap House Bar.
No, that's why I said it. Like, no, it was a tap house.
Right.
It was a tap house.
All right. I'm tapping out.
Tap.
Yeah, I finished work on Wednesday, so I'm looking forward to the break. Go back on the 4th. So by the time people are listening to this, I'd be on holiday with my feet up, hopefully.
Oh, damn, you get like full time off from
Well, I've
work.
got to take some time, use some of my holiday, but you know.
Oh, what? So you actually could be working over Christmas if you wanted to?
Yeah, I could be, but I just prefer to be at home, just chilling, man. And I enjoy Christmas. I enjoy it.
Get to catch up on loads of films, I guess.
Yeah, no, exactly that, man. Exactly that.
Have you seen the Christmas Chronicles?
No, what's that? Explain.
It's with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. It's a proper kids' Christmas film. Like, it's actually pretty cool.
What is it? An old film or?
No. It's like there's number 1 and there's number 2. I'm proper showing myself here now, but yeah, it's just a Christmas like family film. Like, it's actually really good. So watch it.
Quite an old film. Like,
no, like it's literally.
It just came out.
Probably the first one came out around 2015, 2016.
I see what film I did enjoy was the one Elf. Is it Elf?
I was about to say that myself.
With Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
That's weird because when that come out,
Never seen it before.
I don't think that done well when it first come out, but it slowly turned into a classic.
Yeah.
Like you see like a lot of pillow cases, bed cases, like posters. Do you know what I mean?
I think it probably did all right when it come out, if I remember rightly. When did that come out?
2003 that come out, yeah.
Wow.
2003.
18 years ago.
Yeah. It's a long time.
My daughter loves that film, man. Like we watched it every year.
I think that's one of his first films. Cause I know he did that Old School. You seen that? It's sort of like it's like an American Pie sort of type of film. He did that.
Yeah. No, they were Anchorman. That was like
Anchorman was like
that was a bit later, I think.
Anchorman was like
what, after Elf?
Yeah,
I think so.
Elf.
Yeah,
Like he said Elves.
Yeah.
It's Elf, isn't it?
Elf. Yeah.
Elf.
Just Elf. Anchorman was 2004. Oh, so a year later.
Oh shit!
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I mean, we don't want to stick on the Will Ferrell fucking movie fun, but I think his best film, in my opinion, is Talladega Nights. That's really funny, man.
I've got that DVD, man. I love Anchorman.
Anchorman is just so funny.
So funny, man.
When they all like meet up in to have that fight.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
thought
stupid, man.
Anchorman 2 was shit though, but
Yeah, it weren't as good.
it weren't as good.
wasn't as good.
Yeah, but the first one was a good film. It was just really ignorant, innit? Like proper.
Yeah.
Just ignorant.
There's not many individual like actors that I could say like I've seen a lot of their movies just because he's got them in it. Like Arnie, obviously.
Yep.
But like, yeah, Will Ferrell definitely. If I see he's in a movie, I'm like, this will probably be alright.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Oh shit! Talking about Arnie, I also want to make a correction. I said Arnie was in the film Cobra on the last episode. That's incorrect. It was Sylvester Stallone.
Who corrected you? Was it Carter?
Of course it was. He used his white privilege to correct me. See that shit. I thought he was going to mention that last week's episode when I mentioned John Carter, because he had a bit of a bone to pick with us regarding Pantera versus Sepultura.
It's true.
Yeah, a lot of people were like fucking.
He messaged me privately to berate me about our collective choice.
Thing is, opinions are like opinions, innit? Like, not everyone is.
They're like arseholes.
Yeah,
Everyone's got one and they all fucking stink.
That is the most boomer fucking saying, innit?
Yeah.
Talking about boomers, I saw a funny meme today. My mate posted up, Sean Gelino. He said the meme was Kiss of boomer juggalos.
Oh my god.
Or Kiss fans or Kiss fans is juggalos for boomers. But yeah, this whole Sepultura versus fucking Pantera debate, which is kind of what it's turned into. I know Dimmy from Belgium said something about it on our Facebook page.
A few people said the
John
shit
obviously said something, but I mean, what do you guys think?
So, for those that don't know, we're talking about, on our last episode, we was referring to something called verses, where you get two artists that go against each other, song verse song, and me and Steve was debating Pantera versus Sepultura, and I was rooting for Pantera, and he was rooting for Sepultura.
I'll make it clear, I loved and still love Pantera's like first three. Like, I stand by it. I love them albums. Probably would pick Sepultura though between the two of them.
Is it because you think it's harder music, or is just what is it? Without going too deep or trying to put it on the spotlight.
I think, do you know what? I don't even think, because I don't sit there and analyse things, man. I don't sit there and like think about it. It's just how it makes me feel. And Sepultura,
I love Sepultura. I mean, especially that live concert they done. But my thing for me is, I feel like Pantera had the bigger impact. Pantera was a gateway to listening to music like Sepultura, and
my personal introduction into like heavier metal was literally at the time of Cowboys from Hell, and I think Arise was coming out at a similar time. So to me, them two bands, they were the coolest fucking two bands around. Like, out
of the two bands, I know more Pantera songs, obviously, from going clubs. Yeah. In a club setting, Pantera would always win over Sepultura tunes, like, because they just like gets people going and shit, like, you know what I mean?
Don't you think there's a lot of purists though in this? I'm not digging this out on anyone, but there's a lot of purists like, you listen to that album. I listened to the something discography from 1976. It's like
I think there's sorry to cut you off there. I think there's purists in everything. Like not just music, sport, film, TV, dramas. Everything. Like, there's even purists in probably classical shit as well. Like, I mean, in terms of literature and that, like books. Oh, this guy's a better author than this guy because like he didn't fuck as many wenches as this guy, like, or some shit like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, that's how deep people will go into it. Like,
for every person where they'll go, oh, I fucking love Iron Maiden, man. Number of the Beast is amazing, and you'll have some sort of like quote purist going, yeah, but you know, first album was the best album.
The demo was the best.
Matter, man.
I'll admit, I'm sometimes like that. Oh no, I love
everyone is.
I prefer their first album. I prefer the earlier shit than their later stuff. But at the same time, there's people who get into music at different ends of a band's career, or if they're still going. So you getting into it when they first begun, when you was a teenager. 20 years later, this band is still going, and this teenager is now getting into the band at this particular era. But at least he or she has got all that to go back to listen to and to see how this band has progressed and that up until the particular point where they're at. So it's music, man. Just fucking enjoy it.
It's there for enjoyment, and also like that's the important thing about it is it's totally dependent on when you get into it and what your first impressions of what is cool is.
I'll back you up on that point, because when I started listening to Sepultura and that, I hadn't heard Chaos AD and Arise and all Beneath the Remains and all these other albums. I just heard Roots and some of the other shit that they'd done afterwards, like Soulfly. And I know it's not Sepultura, but I heard the other shit, then sort of like the new wave of metal that was coming back, the new metal shit and that, like, so comparing that era to their early shit, for someone like you'd be like, shit, what the fuck's this shit, like? Yeah.
But you catch yourself doing it. In the end, you catch yourself doing it.
Oh yeah,
it took me a long time to catch myself doing it. I'm not gonna lie, man. There's been many occasions through the years where I've been just like, yeah, that's shit, though, isn't it? but you know what I mean? You get a bit older and you start seeing that, like, no, kids have still got the same love for it. They just got love for different bits.
That's it, mate.
It's just because when they hit the scene, that's what was cool. Like,
that's it.
No, but do you know what I fucking loved about Pantera, man? Was the videos. Because it was like 4 guys that were just like, have you ever watched the Pantera videos? Pantera used to like release videos of them being out on the road, just doing jokes. People will know what I'm talking about when I say Blacktooth Grin and Big Val, and you just fall in love with the band, like the personalities. Dimebag, I'm sorry, hands down best guitarist. No one can lace his boots, but no one can touch that guy in guitar, man.
He had his style. He had his own style that he carved out, man. And I don't think anyone since Dimebag has played that way.
No, but he used to play the way. The thing is, he didn't just play the solo. He used to just be cool with it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And the squeals. Nah, man, you can't touch Pantera. But let's go. We're gonna do a quick song for song. What we saying? 5 songs.
Yeah, go on in.
Now, you most probably will win this. Because I know people listening to this will say, oh no, you know.
Actually, my favourite, no, not this particular one. I think Steve got his ones wrong.
Mr. John Carter.
Why did Steve not mention To The Wall? Because I like To The Wall is Schizophrenia's best song. And they didn't mention anything from Morbid Visions at all.
So the way verses work is an artist will play a song, and then the other artist will play a song, and it goes back and forth, and then the general public decides. So Steve, do you want to go first or something?
Are you making me go first? All right, I see.
What are you playing? Hum it. I can't even hum it.
All right. Let's go with a fan favourite. Refuse, Resist.
All right, for that one, I would go with Walk.
I'd vote for Me Still on that one. I like Walk, but I don't think that's Pantera's best tune.
Refuse, this is a hard song.
I think you fucked up there, to be honest.
No! Got him, what's next?
Alright. Arise.
Oh, shit. Mouth of War.
No, I'll win again.
No, get the fuck out of here, man. Arise is a hard song, though. It's 2 different styles, really. One's thrash, one's more groove metal.
Yeah, it's true.
But,
no, I love that song, but I did win. Beneath the Remains.
Oh, jeez. Fucking Hostile.
I still think I'll win that one as well.
Oh, shut up, man. No, you're just being biased, man.
Yeah, of course I am.
Yeah.
What are we on? Number 4 now?
Number 4.
Steve wins.
Yeah, just so everyone knows, Steve wins this one as well.
Territory.
I'm Broken. Fucking southern groove.
Yeah, I think you win that one. Alright, finally, I'm going to go with Inner Self, and nothing you can say will beat that.
Domination.
Yeah, see?
Nah. So anyway,
you didn't even use Cowboys from Hell, man. Cowboys from Hell would have beaten a few of them.
No, but I can't go Cemetery Gates against.
And Cemetery Gates, yeah. Shit.
I was waiting for you to play one of Saboteur's love songs. No.
The breakdown of Cemetery Gates is fucking hard, man.
Yeah, that's such
such
a song, man. Yeah. I really like Hollow as well. That tune as well.
Hollow's hard, man.
That's fucking banging.
Anyway, man, 2 legendary bands. Rest in peace to Dimebag. I was gutted when Dimebag got killed,
Paul as well.
I think the lesson we can learn from this is music is subjective. Everyone likes what they fucking well like.
Exactly.
Enjoy it, love it. Because there's nothing better than loving a fucking tune, man. So don't let anybody ruin that enjoyment.
Wait, now we're talking about music. Can I just tell you what I've been watching? We don't have to talk about it too long, but the Beatles Get Back. Now, I ain't the biggest Beatles fan, right?
Yeah.
It took me about a couple of weeks to watch it, to be fair. But at the end of it, I was like, wow, this band is fucking amazing, man. 4 guys in the room just fucking writing songs. Do you know what? They're amazing musicians as well. When you watch it, they'll be trying to write a song and then they just start playing a cover song. Yeah. And the amount of cover songs, they must have played about 20 or 30 cover songs, like, and they're playing it good as well.
Yeah. I think they were a covers band, weren't they, to begin with?
Oh, were they?
I think I don't know much about the Beatles, to be fair, because like you, I've never really been a fan of the Beatles. But I think most bands back then started out playing covers and then you'd integrate some of your own songs into the set gradually while you learnt your chops. Like you'd go around just 6 nights a week doing covers. I think that's kind of how it used to work back then.
Playing fucking tunes at the cabin club.
I do want to watch that though, actually. That's on Disney though, isn't it? I ain't got that.
Yeah, it's on Disney, but like just pay the. I think you can get Disney free for like a month or something. So just
it's like a trial.
Yeah,
but it was just amazing, man. Some of the fucking classic songs they come up with, and like it's funny, right? Because they had these 2 4-tracks, and this 4-track is like the size of your fridge, right? And it looks like fucking, you know, like Star Trek from the 60s with the big dolls and that. Bruv, it looks like they're in some sort of fucking scientific lab. They play the songs live and record it live, man. And I was thinking, I feel like music today is just too perfect. Like, don't get me wrong, I think that's the way sonically kids hear music now.
Yep.
Yeah. But it just every like with these triggered drums and everything's just it's just it literally could be a dance song because it is so triggered, so quantized.
You're right, Wemmer. Everything nowadays is just too fucking polished and too flawless. I think I might have said it on this podcast previously, but I know I've said it in the bands or whatever bands I'm in or wherever I'm hanging out with. Like, there's just so many new young bands who just feel that they have to pay £3,000 or £4,000 or whatever it is they're paying for like 4 tracks for their demo, which sounds too over fucking polished. You hear it and you go, oh, okay, that's cool. Then you see them fucking play live and they're like, use a shit. Like, I'm not gonna off the top of my head, I'm not gonna say any band because I'm not gonna be like that. But we all know it. We all know that we've heard a band. This doesn't matter whether it's heavy hardcore, whether it's punk, whether it's metal. You've heard a band that's had this demo, which is like, this sounds really good. Then you see them live and they're just shit.
Yeah, we were saying before you got here about how there's some sort of character on older recordings that you just can't get it now. It could be anything, like even just like hearing the hiss of an amplifier.
Yes.
In between like a break. Do you know what I mean? If there's a pause in the music before a breakdown or something, you can just hear the amp like like something little like that, and it just adds a little bit of flavour to it. You just don't get it anymore.
Or there's a bit where someone might have just spoken and they've obviously forgot to get rid of it, or they can't get rid of it, and it just adds to that little bit of charm to it because you know that they're all there, they're all doing their thing, and this is what's going to go out, and then that shit just gets passed around through tapes or burnt off CDs or whatnot, or just put out on fucking file share things if it was the early 2000s, I don't know.
The equipment we had was better than the previous generation, and they were most probably saying the same shit about us.
Well, but I also think there's bands that have come out in the last 10 years and even in the last couple of years where their sound has deliberately gone for a retro feel.
Yeah,
where they've not gone for the overproduced sort of thing as well, because I think if you're growing up with stuff which is only perfect sounding, at some point someone's going to be like, all right, enough, like, come on, let's go and do something a little bit different.
Do something rough, like.
I would say, I'm not sure we did have that much better equipment. Actually, funny enough, I was listening to Bobby Payne's podcast with Barney Greenway today. Barney was talking about how in the 80s, most of the bands back then, their demos were just rehearsal tapes, and that was it.
That's mad, isn't it? Yeah, that's what most bands done.
And at least when I was 18 or whatever, like, or we could borrow a 4-track from someone and at least kind of like do something that was at least a little bit. It still sounds, when I listen to it now, it still sounds fucking terrible. But you had a little bit of control over it.
Yeah.
But I remember being 18 and using a 4-track and being like, this is amazing.
I know. On that,
incredible, man.
On that Beatles documentary, they get 2 4-tracks and put them together to make them into an 8-track.
Yeah.
And then literally they're like, okay, you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. You ready? You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ding, 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 ding. They start playing and recording this shit, and I'm like, do you know what blew my mind? A fact that I didn't know. When the Beatles broke up, they was all under 30. Wow. The amount of hits they wrote before they even hit 30, that is incredible. And like, Beatles, broke up in 1969.
They were a band for 8 years, weren't they, the Beatles?
Oh, was it?
8 years.
And them songs are timeless. Like, whatever you say, like, who else could you say under 30 has written that many timeless songs, man? Give the guys their dues, man. Fucking hell.
It is incredible, man. And you know what strikes me as well, especially when I watch like older bands play, is they've got chops that I could only ever dream of. Do you know what I mean? And to be able to fucking record a tune by just playing it the whole way through without fucking...
Nah, I couldn't do it.
In one take.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I've never played the whole way through a tune without making at least a tiny fuck up.
There's one bit I want to get off it. Were you going to say something?
No, I wasn't going to say anything else. No, I'm done.
There's one bit right at the end, right, where the grand finale is the show on Savoy. Is it Savoy? I can't remember the street. But they play on top of the rooftop. And like me being a fucking old head, right, it's funny because they're on the roof and then people from like adjacent buildings start coming out. So like you see some geezer on the building on the opposite side of the road. He comes out with his top hat on. He's got a pipe. You've got these other geezers that are sitting up on the fucking chimney. You've got this bird that's on a high heels.
Yeah.
In a building next to where they was playing, standing right in the edge of the fucking roof. Yeah. And there's me thinking, shit, man, where's all the PPE? Like, when I work, I can't even go on the roof. I got to do like 10 permits. I got to have a harness.
You got to watch a video.
I got to watch a video. I got to have a hard hat. I got to have boots. Yeah. And it's just. I was watching it going, fuck me. Like, how times have changed, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
At my work, you can't go up a ladder without doing your ladder safety awareness course.
It's bollocks, man.
And
it is
bollocks. I watched this video, right, and it was this geezer from the 70s, 60s, whatever it was, Fred Dibner, right? And this geezer was a steeplejack, right? And he would climb up these fucking chimneys.
Yeah.
Nothing, no safety gear. These things would be a fucking 100 foot up. Climbing up the outside of them, just on these like metal.
You not seen those videos of Fred Dimber going up the chimneys?
No.
It's like proper northern guys going, talking and going,
fucking fag.
Oh really?
Yeah, just like proper northern working class fucking dude, just climbing this fucking chimney, no harness, as Steve said, no protective gear, just climbing. And would he be chipping away with it at the fin and then knocking it down like?
Yeah, so I think they would get all the sort of shit out of the chimney, wouldn't they?
And then they just knock it down. They just go straight down the chute into the chimney like.
That's fucking ill.
Go on YouTube and just look for Fred Dibner steeplejack.
Or there's like the BBC page on Facebook, which is like BBC on this day, like the classic pages and it. It's fucking it's mental, man. It's mental.
I think the videos are like the people in India, and they'll be like on some fucking 20-foot brick wall as he's putting the bricks together. He's standing on the wall, do you know what I mean? With no like. But yeah, anyway, it was a really good documentary. Like anyone that's into music, man, I would say, go and check it out. There was a funny thing. I'm going to finish up on this. Like George Harrison, he wrote a song, "My Sweet Lord." You know that song?
I don't.
Maybe if I heard
it. My sweet Lord.
No.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, like...
Wait, sorry, right. Wayne just went... and went, oh, yeah, I know.
I know that shit. I do know that.
You know it is, that guitar. But he actually got a lawsuit against him for copyright, like for stealing a song. So I actually Googled the song that they accused him of stealing, and fuck me, it sounds exactly the same. It was like this girl group in the 60s.
Did they win this lawsuit?
Yeah, they did. They won the lawsuit. And it got me thinking, I don't know if Steve's ever done this. Have you ever like writ a riff and you'd be like, this fucking riff's amazing. And then 2 days later you come back and you're like, hold on a sec, that's fucking madball. Like, or that's it's painful, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Everyone knows that I'm a fucking fan of 80s rock, and one time I wrote this whole tune and it was this fucking really cool ballad reminding me of Skid Row and all that, and then I listened to it and I was like, I could just like, this is too familiar, man. Something's too familiar about this tune. And it ended up being a tune by LA Guns, which I just totally ripped off.
Yeah, I know.
And I totally ripped it off. Like, the guitars weren't the same, but the bass line, which is the main part of that song, was the same. I was like, how the fuck did I not see that?
I know, I've done it, man. I think everyone's done it, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It didn't really What's the singer from LA Guns called? Tracy Gunn?
Phil Lewis.
Phil Lewis.
Tracy Guns is a guitar player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, big up Jake Marlowe.
Yeah, usually the only two people who go to their show, innit?
Yeah, man. Last time they played, there's me and Jake just standing there like, yes!
Everyone but us is
Anyway, you're dicing with death with a rock and roll top on the chimney.
Holy shit!
For the price, were I didn't really want the job. Like if it had been a repair job, which
Back then, they most had no other way of doing it,
a month, 5 weeks.
I'm sorry, that.
It's not so bad, but when it comes into months and months, you see, it's a bit different. Furthermore,
My legs are, he's knocking the thing brick by brick, so he's just starting from the bottom, just...
Yeah, so just one geezer fucking knocking this whole thing down.
Give it all day, man.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Everyone But Us podcast, episode number 31. Correct?
It is.
Yes, it is. Lovely, I got that straight right off the bat. Right, as we said at the beginning of the show, this is basically our end of year show. So, we're going to go through some stuff that happened during 2021. January. The start of January. What was the biggest thing that happened right at the beginning?
Storming of the Capitol.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's actual hearings and shit going on as we speak right now in America. They're still trying to get to the bottom of what happened and who was who instigated it. Why did it happen? Why did the police allow the people to actually get into the Capitol building, etc.?
I think the two stand-up moments was the guy with the horns hat.
Yeah.
Oh, Jamiroquai. I feel triggered, man, because I actually like Jamiroquai. When I see that, I was like, yeah, that's actually legit. Yeah, that dude was Jamiroquai.
He really was the fucking space cowboy, man.
He was, wasn't he? And the saddest one I thought was sad, was a woman being shot. I know she was a bit of a right wing nutcase, but that was kind of mad, man.
I can't help but feel if it was any other group of people, there would have been a lot of killings, a lot of police.
100%.
I think the army would have been there already. It's all very suspect how it just was allowed to happen.
Yeah.
To me, it was very fucking suspect.
I hate what about a reason, what if this happened, but I'm going to do it anyway. But imagine if it was like some protest of like Muslim Americans or just Muslim people in general who happen to be in America, going like, yo, fucking, we're getting trampled on with our rights and we're not getting respected, and fucking Muslim mans and women stormed the fucking Capitol.
They'll be dead.
Holy fucking
They'll be dead.
shit.
All dead. You wouldn't get. They wouldn't have even got into the Capitol building.
It would have kicked off so bad. There would have been people going, hey brother, let's go get a gun, let's go shoot some fucking Muslims. It would have happened, mate. It would have fucking happened. Like, it definitely would have happened. But
I think a part of that was Trump. That's his voting base, isn't it, really?
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
Probably put the message out.
Yeah.
So
what makes me sad about it is how misguided all those people really were, thinking that they were saving their country. And they were so misguided and led down that path by Trump that that's where they ended up, in that ridiculous position for no fucking real reason whatsoever.
That's sad, mate, because a lot of that shit in America is breaking a lot of families apart and that. Like, but anyway, Joe Biden became the 46th president.
CP Joe.
Yeah, yeah, man. Less said about him, the better, man. He's shit.
He's shit, but at least it's like having a normal fucking president.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but
he's like shit in a traditional sense. Do you know what I mean?
So going into February, and two royals who are no longer royals, Harry and Meghan. They decided to leave the royal family.
Step back,
step back
and go on
their
Oprah
duties.
Winfrey and
correct,
cash in on every.
correct.
This is I don't know, man. I don't have an opinion. I don't really care.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Funny
like,
enough,
I bring it up not to have like a deep conversation about it, but I bring it up because there's a lot of people in this country who like really love the royal family fucking drama shit, and like they take like a real deep personal interest in like going, oh, Harry's our lad, he's our boy, like she's taking him away from us, like as if he's their son, like, which I find it kind of mad, like people invest that amount of energy, like they won't even know who their fucking neighbours are, but they're rooting for fucking Harry. But I think for a lot of people on the right as well, like people like Nick Ferrari or the right-wing commentators, they're sad because Prince Harry, obviously, he's never going to be king, but he wasn't uptight like fucking Prince William. He was like, oh, he's like lad, and he's been in the army, and he's like fucking likes to drink and tell fucking jokes, and he plays rugby, and he's like been in, and he's just like he's not like a proper royal, he's like a rock star royal, like. No,
but if he was heir to the throne, I think he'd be different.
Of course it would.
I think he's just
you have to follow
a part of it is the fact that he's like, I'm not going to be king, so like what,
I can do what I want.
I might as well just fucking
do what I want.
Just do whatever I want. What's the point?
If you're not heir to the throne, you follow a different path. Like if you are in line for that shit, you are groomed for that role that is eventually going to be you. Like, and one of the things that came off at the back of Harry and Meghan, obviously they went on Oprah Winfrey show, which was like a worldwide storm. But remember when Piers Morgan ducked off for GMB?
Yeah,
like, he's got a weird obsession with like calling women out on like all the time on Twitter and shit. Like he does it with he done it with Meghan Markle, he done it with Adele.
Man.
Like,
I think he's like an opportunist bully, and that's how he's made his name in journalism. He's not a journalist.
He's a tabloid. He used to be the tabloid editor of the Daily Mail, isn't it? Like, he's a fucking hack. Yeah, but he walks off of GMB because that dude, I forgot what his name is.
He was getting called out, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But I think that's calculated because apparently he's got another job.
He's going to be hosting something for Rupert Murdoch's thing, isn't it? I'm not sure if he's going to be here or in America or something like. But yeah, something's coming. Moving on to March, it was pretty sad. Don't want to bring down the tone, but I think it's an important thing to talk about. But Sarah Everard, she was murdered by that scumbag police officer who I will not mention his name. But that was sad. That was really sad, that was terrible, man. Someone is just on their way home from a friend's house and they're obeying to a police officer's commands and then ends up being murdered and shit. Like, it's just fucking absolutely terrible, man.
And it's weird because you're always told to listen to the police, obey what the police do. And then after that happened, people were saying if a policeman pulls you over and you're on your own, alert a bus and do this. I'm like,
who is gonna do that really?
Every person. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to belittle what happened to Sarah because what happened to her was horrific and should never have happened.
Sad, man.
But
really sad.
Do you think the average person in the street is gonna like male or female? And like most of the time, males who get pulled over by old Bill. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't happen to women, but you're gonna get pulled over and you're gonna like held down a bus to come and stop you or whoever's. No, they're gonna be like, there must be a reason why the police have pulled him over or her over. But no one wants to interfere because they'd only get in trouble. So it was just them at the time, the police trying to cover their backs and just come out with shit because it was a PR disaster for them. Like serving police officer who was like a royal protection officer as well. I think like
the amount of times like friends have said to me, I was out today and some guy come up to me and he just wouldn't fucking leave me alone and that. They're fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things that I saw a lot of different videos and that where women were saying like, someone's doing it. I was sitting there thinking, but none of my mates would do that. Like, I'd never do that. But they're making a point. They're saying like, actually, someone's doing it. They're everywhere. There's loads of people doing it. So it is someone's fucking mate somewhere.
This is.
I just think there's a lot of men who think they're just entitled to a woman's time.
Oh, there is.
And they're not. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to talk to you. Like, simple as that.
I used to get annoyed, when I'd be like walking late at night on the street and there'd be a woman in front of me and she'd be looking back like really scared, like I was going to do something. I used to be like, what you think? I used to get annoyed. I used to say it personally, but to be honest, now I understand. Like, I had I don't know if I spoke about it on this podcast, but about a couple of years ago, I went to the Revolution Calling Festival in Holland.
Yeah.
And I was walking back to my hotel. My hotel was on some campus in the middle of nowhere. And I remember I was a bit drunk and I was walking back and there was a girl in front of me. She must have been going to the campus as well. And I was like, everywhere she turned, I would turn. And I was like, what the fuck do I do? Because I know she's shitting herself right now. Yeah. And like, it was just, what I ended up doing is like, because I was following the Google Maps. I said, fuck it, I'm going to just take the long way. I was freezing. I wanted to get back to my hotel room, but I was like, this is just, I can imagine she's feeling really uncomfortable right now, so I just went the long way. But like, I think as guys, sometimes you got to realise the situation. I used to get offended by it, but now I understand.
Is that saying read the room, innit? Like,
read the room and just say, you know what, let me stop for 5 minutes.
Let me cross over the other side of the road, or let me hang back a little bit. Let me not walk super fast behind her, like to make it even more uncomfortable.
Quite a long time ago, Actually, I mentioned it to like one of my mates. I was just saying, yeah, it's the worst. It's so uncomfortable, like, because you just, all you want to do is tell them that you're not a threat because you're not a threat, and you want to make them feel all right, like safe and all that. But if you went up to them, look, I'm not a threat, all right, don't worry. That makes you sound like even more of a threat.
It does.
But then my mate turned around and she was just like, yeah, well, think how it feels for her. Like, it feels terrible for you, but fucking hell, she's worrying if she's going to get murdered. Nice. It's fucked, isn't it, man?
Yeah, it is. It's sad. Let's hope we don't get any more of this shit, but you know it's going to fucking happen, mate, because mans are just fucking insane. Right, moving on to April. Prince Philip, the Queen's husband, passed away at the age of 99 years old.
Oh, yeah, he did, yeah. She couldn't attend the funeral. Well, she went to the funeral, but she had to sit on her own.
Lots of people see that picture of the Queen sitting there on her own, and they're like, that could have been my name. As a human being, seeing someone who's just lost their their husband, and they're just there with no family supporting her, and she's just there on her own. It was like, oh shit, that sucks, man. Like that really does suck.
Yeah.
Like, especially when we're hearing back now, like for obviously UK listeners, all this shit with the Conservative Party fucking having parties and not sticking to rules and shit like.
Yeah,
and they fucking go in this, and they're the party of fucking tradition and fucking royalists and supporting the Queen and the fucking royal family and that, and they fucking just didn't give a shit about the fucking rules. So
he suffered from what I call foot in mouth, didn't he?
Gaffs.
Fuck me.
Fucking hell, mate.
I got one here in 2002 when visiting Aboriginal Culture Park in Queensland, Rainforest, Australia. He asked the Aboriginal businessman, do you still throw spears at each other?
For fuck's sake, man.
He is literally that 80s comedian.
Yeah.
You know that 80s comedian at the social club, like, just saying the most obnoxious, sexist, racist, xenophobic, homophobic fucking jokes, like, that is Prince fucking Philip, like, he was that guy. He was like, the word they would say is gaff prone. Some people loved it. Like, I see some fucking mans who are like fucking black people and Asian people. Oh, he was fucking funny in that. Like, but sometimes people become the butt of the fucking joke. Like, and it's not so funny. You know what I mean? Like, and you can't dress it up as, oh, he's old.
I don't believe that just because you're old, it automatically gets you off saying what you've said. And I can say certain things you can understand. Certain things you can understand, but if you then chat to that person and they're just not open to a different point of view, then I think that's just on them.
Yeah.
I don't believe you can reach a certain age and just say, no, I'm not learning anything else. I've just got my views. That's it. I think that's bullshit.
Yeah, it's true because there are a lot of old people now who actually, when they were younger, when they were growing up, they would say racist or homophobic shit. But now they've realised, or they've had like their son or their daughter, they've just said to them like, you can't say that anymore. We know you're a good person. You just can't say that. And they're like, you know what? I'm going to try. I'm not going to say that anymore. And they do. Fucking sometimes it might be a slip of the tongue. Like, oh shit, I know I shouldn't say that.
I've got enough experience now to say that yes, you can fucking change your opinion.
We
You're
already
just being lazy.
Discuss music and the way you think about music.
Yeah, but listen to the way
it's
we talk
kind
about
of the same thing. Like, it's just
But we also recognise that we're older.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
And we also recognise that
I'm not making excuses.
We even said this, like, exactly earlier in this same episode, we were talking about, people get into what they get into when they get into it, and that's why they think it's cool, and that's cool.
Prince Philip, I hope you're chilling with Thatcher and Pinochet and Savile.
Oh my god.
Enjoy. April going into May, it was around the same time. You might not remember this, but I do. I've even spoke to Steve about it. For all the football heads, remember the Super League?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Super League kicked off, man, and all the fans went nuts.
Yeah. Bruv, it was like, I remember it happened on the Sunday. I don't know what the date was, but no one could relax properly because there was a match, and after the match, no one was talking about the match that had just been played.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, there's something going on, but we don't know what's actually going on. But apparently there's going to be an announcement from clubs and that about this breakaway team, but we're not too sure. We're not sure. And then the news came out that Real Madrid have said that they want to start, and Juventus have said they want to start a European Super League, and there's going to be 12 clubs, and there's going to be other clubs who get invited to it every year. It was just some proper vanity project from just the
Money.
rich owners of the clubs.
Money.
Who just they just basically wanted to start a league where they can just sell the rights of the football matches and that to the highest bidder, and then they can just have their league matches in their obviously home cities where they play, and then do other because you know that shit always ends up being we're gonna play some shows in America, we're gonna go play some shows in China or Japan or Australia or the Middle East, and that it was, as you said, it was all down to money. But there was massive drama over it. Clubs eventually just started peeling away from it because the fallout was incredible.
It was incredible, man. Like the fans went nuts. Do you know what? They had like they had like a protest outside the Emirates Stadium, and there was a fucking. Did you see that video? There was a drunk fan.
One of the clubs, didn't they? Was Arsenal one of the clubs?
Yeah, Arsenal
was going to be. I don't know why, because we've been fucking dog shit for a while.
Well, it was the Chelsea fans, because it was the Chelsea ones who started, who were went down to King's Road and they kicked off. Even Peter Cech had to come out.
I remember that. Calm everyone down. Yeah.
And then literally half an hour later, Chelsea were like, "We're out," and that's when it started to crumble. Because as soon as you have one team goes, "We're out," and then everyone else is like, "Oh, should we be part of it?" I don't think we should. It's not going to be good for us. So everyone just started falling. Then it was them. Man City fell, and then Arsenal, and then Liverpool. Liverpool held on for a while actually. I think Liverpool,
they didn't want to let go.
Yeah, they weren't letting go of that. I think Liverpool held on for that for quite a bit, but then eventually they all fell. And then there was, as you mentioned, the protest at Arsenal, and then also protest at Man United, where they broke into the stadium and ran on the pitch.
I remember that. Yeah.
So you're Arsenal, you're West Ham, I'm Watford. From my point of view, if Watford would have got involved in something like this, that would possibly be the end of it for me. I'd be going to watch Bournemouth instead.
Even Arsenal, I was like, nah, I'm not interested.
Nah. I was going to say, so I was going to ask you two, what would you have done if it had gone ahead? Arsenal was actually won a team. If West Ham would have got involved with it, what would you have done? Would you have said, "Fuck it, I'm watching Lake Gloria from now on"?
They would have been done with it.
I'm already you know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm not just saying it for the sake because you said it, but I was like, yeah, I'm done with this.
So I've had a season ticket at Watford now for about 13, 14 years, something like that. And I think there's going to be a point where I'm just like, nah, enough's enough. I'm done. I'm going to non-league games from now on, or nothing higher than League One or something.
But you would be having a little sneaky look to see how Watford got on. You most probably just end up watching it again. And this is the thing, they know that we're so attached to these clubs. They can literally just do whatever they want, and we're like, this attachment, it's literally like, for some guys to start being married, man.
There's a point though, and it ain't even like taking a stand for the sake of it. It just stops being your club, I think.
Yeah.
Not that Watford ever would be involved in that, because we are a much smaller club comparatively to most of the Premier League. But if it was something that we got involved with, I think that would be where I drew the line. And I was just like, I don't think I can really go and watch this anymore. It ain't the same anymore.
Moving on to fucking June. We touched upon it briefly in the last episode, but there was obviously the Euros that happened at Wembley and all other stadiums around Europe as well. England got to the final, sadly lost to Italy. There was a lot of disorder, there was a lot of drama and shit. But it was kind of cool just for for that brief period of it was close. For the first time in any of our lives, we saw England get to a final in a major tournament.
Yeah, I was gutted. So flopped to the final, man.
Yeah,
but you know what? It was a great tournament, and just to get to the final of anything was brilliant.
Even though they lost, that's going to get milked now. Yeah,
yeah.
Because Euro 96 and World Cup 90 got milked for fucking ages. But there's only so much milking of that you can do.
Yeah.
Now this one's going to get fucking milked.
What was the song that...
It's Coming Home.
Yeah, Coming Home.
It's 3 lines.
I actually think that's quite a great song, actually.
It's a classic now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's weird, because I
Lewis ain't convinced.
I remember in 1996 when that come out, I remember thinking, I don't know, because I was a kid.
Catchy.
I was a kid when World in Motion was the fucking tune.
That's the tune.
And to me, that was the ultimate football song.
Yeah.
Right. And then when that song came out in 96, I was like, oh no, this sounds like the 70s or something. It's just, but not gonna lie, it's become a classic.
It is a catchy. If you're gonna play 2 tunes in the pub and you want to get people riled up, 3 lines of course, because it's very easy to sing along to. But my tune is World in Motion, man. I mean, I was a 5-year-old kid. Don't really remember that World Cup at all. First one I remember was 94.
I went on
that tune is so good,
great,
man.
I went on a trip to the Isle of Wight with my school, and we had a disco on the last day, and I just remember them playing that, and all of us were just like giving it proper, like everyone was on the dance floor for that tune.
It's a great tune, man. When John Barnes' bit comes in, it's just John Barnes is a bit of a weirdo now, but when that fucking bit came in, that was just incredible.
Yeah, man.
But anyway, commiserations to England and all the mans and shit. Hopefully next time at the
Qatar. This time next year.
Just bring your son.
Win the World Cup.
I am not interested in that fucking talk.
From the moment that Qatar got that fucking World Cup, I was just like, that is bullshit. That's fucking corruption at its peak.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
I hate the fact that we're having a fucking World Cup in a fucking desert, mate, where no one cares about fucking football.
Just quickly keeping it on June, that news channel GB News launched. So for anyone who's not familiar with GB News, some of our international listeners, it's basically right-wing reactionary Fox News, but British style. But the guy who started the channel, Andrew Neil, he actually left it because it wasn't the channel that he thought it was going to turn into, because it's now literally just turned into like a lockdown skeptic. They just got some mad views and he had to disassociate from it. So thanks to Andrew Neil.
It was like too lowbrow for him, wasn't it?
Yeah,
basically, because it is trash. It's like trash politics or something.
It's Jeremy Cole level fucking. It's Jeremy Cole level news. Like, it fucking is.
I've never listened to it,
but it's fucking nuts, mate. But he's fucked his career. Fuck him. I don't care.
Anyway, moving on. We spoke about it previously. Big up the Ready Eye Collective. UK Hardcore returns. The COVID super spreader event. But that happened.
COVID returns.
COVID UK Hard. UK Hard. I can't even do it. It was great. It was good. Let's hope for better times next year with our fests and shows and shit. Just quickly, Bezos, he went to space.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see him crying and shit from it.
He dipped space. He like just put his bell end in and just came back down again, innit? Like
just the tip,
like
everyone but us. Straight from the heart of London.
Moving along quickly because it is getting a little bit late, but in August, the United States of America and its allies all pulled out from Afghanistan in what many people said at the time was a hasty retreat. I know none of us are Middle East fucking experts, but we've all got a fucking opinion. I thought it was about time. I know it's going to suck for a lot of people who live out in Afghanistan because the Taliban are pretty fucking nuts and shit in how they govern and how they do shit, but you can't be just in someone else's country for fucking so long. It's just going to be a continuation of violence and violence and violence and violence.
Yeah. Essentially, we went in there, tore the place up, fucking got rid of the Taliban or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we've just gone, do you know what, we're not going to do this anymore, see you later.
That was my thing. It was just like how quick it like just went from...
Because they knew that was going to happen.
Because it's like... What was the point of it all, kind of thing?
Well, they reckon the conspiracy, I say that in quotation marks, is that the intelligence agency, the deep state, all those type of people, the CIA, etc., NSA, they were like, oh no, it's going to be a couple of months before Taliban actually take the whole country. So we got a bit of time, but they knew that it was coming.
Oh, they knew.
So they were trying to give fucking Biden the fucking bloody nose because they knew he had to make a fucking decision. We need to stay, but he was like, no, we're going to leave. Like, because even the previous president, Donald Trump, was like, yeah, we need to get out, but he didn't get out. He fucking was a pussy and he fucking ended up keeping the troops there. But at least Biden had the fucking balls to be like, yo, we got to fucking go. We need to leave. But the way it was done, it fucking sucked. To seeing pictures of people clinging to the fucking plane, trying to escape. People fucking fell from the fucking landing gear and shit, like trying to get out of the country. Now, it was fucking sad to see, like, again, on the human fucking thing of looking at it, you're like, this fucking sucks. But there were so many things that happened in Afghanistan where there's just fucking the military, the contractors and that the ones who make all the weapons and shit and build all the bases. This is like millions and millions and millions of pounds and dollars just spent and just wasted, and just you see all the Taliban just walking around and all the fucking gear and all the guns and all the shit just left.
All the tanks.
People are like, oh, they should have brought it fucking back with us to America. It's like, exactly. Yeah. You can't take that shit back to fucking America. Like, it's got to stay there. So they've got it now. They're walking around with night vision and shit, like. You know what I mean? Like, just walking around with fucking night vision and shit, like. Anyway, moving on from that. Remember the petrol crisis in September here in the UK?
That was a fucking absolute nightmare, mate. Queuing an hour for petrol, seeing fights on the forecourt.
Going out at 1 a.m, spending 45 minutes at 1 a.m. looking for a fucking garage that had petrol. Just so we could play that gig in Southend.
Yeah, it was kind of like Mad Max. You know, people get referring to Mad Max.
Not quite as bad. I was listening to the radio. It was all right, really. But
I remember driving in the morning. Well, I don't drive, but I remember being on the bus and seeing like petrol station, like no petrol and shit like that. Yeah. And it was kind of eerie because it was like literally people just having like deep conversations going, I can't get petrol, like I can't do it, like I've been waiting in line to get petrol. There's fucking queues down like a mile down the road with people trying to get petrol. And it was it's just one of those fucking things.
We don't need another hero.
Just see Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson and Tina Turner like turning up, driving the fucking BP fucking truck like. And also just Emma Raducanu, the tennis player.
Yeah, man. She done
very cool.
She got a sports personality of the week.
Yesterday she did, yeah, man.
She deserved it as well. How old she?
19, I think.
Yeah, 19.
She's like the youngest winner of like the youngest winner of a Grand Slam, like being like from a qualification perspective, like unseeded or something like that. I'm not a tennis fan, but she just came out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, and
she didn't drop a set. Going into October, I've not really got much towards the end, but the important things, again, going back to football, sorry for people who are not football fans, but a Saudi-led consortium took over Newcastle United.
Yeah.
Pretty much making them the richest club in the world. They're the richest club in the world now.
Richest club in the world.
So, yeah.
But they're actually going to go down, which is
fucking shit.
Absolute.
They haven't won a game in like
oh my god,
they haven't won a game this season, have they?
Yeah,
they've won one game.
They've won one game.
Yeah,
they've won one game. We'll leave it there for the end of year review. December is still ongoing.
We also saw Watford be promoted to the Premier League again, which I just want to put that in there.
In 2000.
And we saw poor old Dusty Hill from ZZ Top. I was personally quite upset about that. He passed away, sadly. But ZZ Top continued, man. ZZ Top have continued.
Yeah.
Which is...
The show must go on, man.
Everyone but us is there.
Well, so that's been our review of 2021. Obviously, with some little bit of chat here and there. It's been an indifferent year. Obviously, we've still... One thing I will say is we didn't have any talk of COVID during this review thing.
Yeah, I'm quite impressed.
There's no point in like bringing something up which is still ongoing and it's again a very divisive topic.
I quite like the fact that we're not talking about COVID because there is plenty other shit to talk about. So
exactly that.
Everyone else is talking about COVID, so we ain't.
I would say that next week we will be back in lockdown. So hello Zoom.
Hell yeah. Welcome back Zoom. So glad you could join us. So glad you could join us Zoom. But,
so glad you kept your $14.99 black word.
So anyway, just want to wrap this up real quick, but I also wanted to say many thanks to our listeners and to all the subscribers on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, on YouTube. Keep supporting us, keep spreading the word. Any questions, any issues with what we've got to say, you know what you have to do. Just put something in the comment section of where we are on Instagram and Facebook, or obviously you can message us privately or you can message us individually, but whatever you do, just keep doing what you do. And we just want to just quickly end on a nice light note and just say how this year has been for us.
Before we do that, can I just say a special shout out to Anthea, who I believe is our only listener on Mixcloud.
Oh, okay.
Big up Anthea, man. I love
Anthea. Yeah. Sick. So yeah, I was going to say, we just want to end on like a lighter note and just get my two esteemed guests' thoughts on how this year has been and if there's been any highlights and what they hope for next year as well. So I will let Wemmer start.
No, I just want to say that I just wished you guys a happy Christmas. All the listeners a happy Christmas, good health. I think 2023 is going to be
22,
Mighty McFly. No, I think 2022 is going to be a few bumps in the road, but like, you know, I just wish everyone fucking a good new year.
Nice. Steve?
Yeah, I echo that sentiment, definitely. I'm looking forward to next year and hopefully starting to come a bit further out of this COVID shit, because I don't think it's going to be quite as bad a year as it started off this year. I think 22 is going to be a little bit less terrible, hopefully, or maybe that's just me being optimistic. But what I would say is I'd like to see less people getting at each other's throats and remembering who the real enemies are. And that is Luton Town FC. No, but for real though, we should be able to disagree on things without hating each other. There's too much of that going on at the moment.
For real, definitely.
Let's remember who the real fucking people are that are pulling the strings.
I echo that from Steve. Just a couple of bits for me. I just want to say 2021 was, again, very indifferent with what's the ongoing situation, but I did manage to go on holiday twice. One of the holidays was a wedding. It was Ray and Liron who got married. So once again, or I'm not sure if we've said it, but congratulations to them both.
Congrats, definitely.
They're currently on holiday on their honeymoon in Mexico, so that goes well. I went to Lanzarote as well, had like a proper boomer holiday and shit. That was fucking incredible. Had a great time.
Boomer holiday.
Yeah. Lanzarote, mate. No, it was cheap. It was. I was fuming at first because when we got there, I was like, "What the fuck are we doing? This is shit." But then after the next day, I was like, "Nah, you know what? I'm on holiday for like 7 days.
Right,
just enjoy it." Like
volcanoes and that, there, isn't there?
I never done none of that. Me and Rach just went to the beach most of the time.
Yeah.
So that was great. And then obviously shows coming back was fantastic. I mean, obviously it's still a little bit weird, a bit different, but it was just good to see a lot of people just sort of like back in that zone of the vibe and like busy shows, especially Damage is Done, UK Hardcore returns, all the other shows that happened. Us in Ironed Out, we did play some shows up north as well, and we obviously played some shows down here in London and Birmingham as well, and they were all well attended, and they were great. For next year, I've got some plans, not going to reveal anything as yet, but I'm working towards some things that I hope we're going to work out, and I'm going to work really hard towards them. And obviously, we're going to have more interviews for everyone but us. If you've got any suggestions, let us know, but we've got a couple of things in the pipeline, so we will definitely go back to interviewing at some point, getting some bands on, so let us know.
Yeah, I know what one of his plans is, by the way. It's getting Guns N' Roses to do the New Crossing.
Oh, mate, imagine Guns N' Roses the New Crossing. They won't be able to park their fucking tour bus down that street.
Oh, fucking hell, man.
So, yeah.
At least they're open late, though.
Yeah, that's true, like, that's true. So, from all of us at Everyone But Us podcast, we wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy Year. So good to join you, John. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Shall it up your ass.
You're listening to the Everyone But Us podcast, straight from the heart of London.